Hello and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Judith, and I know in the last several videos I have made fish. There was fish tacos and fish with a shrimp sauce and like smoked salmon. Summertime here, a lot of fish is available. But I thought I'd give you a break and let's do some spare ribs tonight. And this is going to be not barbecue spare ribs, it's going to be a Chinese steamed spare rib. So I have these beautiful spare ribs with breast removed, so they're very thin strips. And I have just over a pound. We're going to flavor it with, of course, Chinese flavorings. And one particular that you may not be familiar with is dried mandarin peel. So that we're going to soak, and it just takes 10 to 15 minutes. Fermented black beans, and of course the usual suspects: oyster sauce, light soy sauce, Shao Hsing wine, sesame oil, and of course a little bit of sugar and salt, and some cornstarch, ginger, garlic, a chili, which is optional, and it's just going to be used for garnish, as is the green onions. So to get started, we need to cut up our spare ribs because we want to cut them into small pieces and wash them. Not rinse. We're basically going to wash them. The original recipe, if it's being done for dim sum, is to actually soak the spare ribs until all the myoglobin comes out. Myoglobin is what gives red meat its color. It's not blood. It may look like blood, but it's not blood. But it's what gives your red meat its color. And if you soak your spare ribs long enough, you end up with white meat. We don't want white meat. At least I don't want white meat. I'm not doing dim sum. And I kind of suspected it alters the flavor. So let's get started. So first off, we're going to cut our spare ribs. And these are just pork side spare ribs, breast removed. I'm going to cut them into pieces. Now, a little thin strip like that, you might want to cut a couple of pieces, like a couple of bones worth. But the thicker ones, I'm sure it's okay to do just one. And this, there's something there. So just cut them into pieces, basically. Not exactly bite-sized because they have bone in them, so you're not going to be, it's not a one-biter. You're not going to be popping it in your mouth and chewing, and you've got to chew around the bone. Now this piece, there's a lot of fat on this, I think. No, there's a lot of bone there too, so let's see what we can do with this. Now, of course, I know a lot of people love the fat and would be disgusted with me for cutting it out, but yeah, I'm not that horribly fond of fat. Well, that's mostly bone, so that's okay. That's a big chunk of fat, so that's gone. Get rid of that. Let's see what else we can... No, actually it didn't seem to be as much fat as I thought, because that one big white piece that I thought was fat is bone. So, just cut away if there's excess fat. Just cut it away. Alright, our ribs are in the bowl. We are going to wash them under cold water. We are first going to add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and mix that in. I really, honestly, since we are going to rinse the ribs, don't know what this is supposed to do, but it's the way it's made. So you want to massage it all over to make sure everything's coated. Okay, once you've coated your ribs with the cornstarch, you transfer it to a colander and start rinsing under cold water. Massaging the ribs. You want to do this for up to a minute. Now once they're all rinsed off, we're going to dry them. Now, this recipe comes from a wonderful site called Cooking with Lau, and I will put a link up above there to the recipe, the original recipe. I don't think I've changed it much. So now, after you've rinsed your ribs off, you're going to squeeze as much of the water out as you can. There. And put them into a good thick paper towel and dry them off. Now we are going to put them back in a bowl. So I'm going to rinse out this bowl and give it a bit of a wipe. Because we are trying to dry our ribs, we don't want the bowl to be wet. There we go. And pour our ribs back into the bowl. We want to get them fairly dry. We are going to marinate them. For the marinade, we're going to use a half teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of sugar, a tablespoon of oyster sauce, a half tablespoon of light soy sauce, a half tablespoon of Shao Hsing wine. Oops, that's a little more. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Now we want 1 clove of garlic, which we are going to mince. And then mince your ginger. You want a teaspoon of sesame oil. And we have 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. There we go. I know it looks thick and gloopy, but this is the marinade, not a sauce. So now we have our ribs coming back to the party, and we put our marinade on the ribs. And this, you're going to have to be prepared to get kind of messy yourself, because now we have to massage the marinade into the ribs. So, and you want to do this quite thoroughly. to make sure everything has a good coating. Okay, so that should be good. Now we have to sort out our steaming vessel. Now, as usual, I realize I've forgotten a couple of ingredients, but we're not too late. So what we need is our fermented black beans, which I have rinsed off. A bit of a chop. And if you were paying attention earlier, you should be able to tell me what else I forgot. Our soaked, dried mandarin skin. So let's just chop that up as well. Now we mix some more. Now, you can use a wok to do this, but because it needs to be able to fit the dish you're going to use to put your ribs in, I have a large pan and just a rack. I mean, you can use a wok and put a rack in it as long as the water does not come up to touch the bottom of your dish. And you want it to be covered. And my wok does not have a cover. Now we're ready to steam. We just got to arrange our ribs in the plate and get the rest of our dinner going. Alright, you can start your pan or wok off with boiling water out of the kettle if you like. Or if it's got enough water in it and you have the time, start it just like that. But you want to put your ribs in a dish large enough that you can arrange them into one layer, and then we're going to pop the lid on, and when it starts to boil, we'll turn the heat down and time it for 20 minutes. And then we'll check. They should be done, but if not, let it go a bit longer. 20 minutes and we have perfectly cooked spare ribs. Let's just garnish them. So some green onion, just the green bits, and some red chili. Now, the red chili not for me, but somebody here does like hot. So I will just pick them out. So this is my take on steamed spare ribs. As I said, it's taken from a recipe that I found on another YouTube channel called Cooking with Lau. It's a wonderful channel. If you haven't seen it, do give it a look. I will put the link up for you. But let's have a taste here. That's delicious. So thank you for watching. I appreciate everyone that watches, everyone that has subscribed, and put a like in, please. Just hit that thumbs up button. Let me know that you watched. Share it with your friends. Make a comment. Let me know what you want to see next. I hope you enjoy the recipe, and I'll see you again soon with another one. Thank you so much.